My fiancé just asked me to compete. After finding out his friends voted for him to leave me, James had one solution: meet them all for dinner, including his ex, so I could prove I'm not the insecure which they think I am. He wants me to audition for his approval. I should be planning my honeymoon, but instead I'm fighting to prove my worthiness to a man who won't even defend me. What do I do when my wedding feels like a trap? So, James returned to our dwelling last Saturday evening from his celebratory prenuptial gathering, utterly inebriated, and immediately began an agitated discourse, articulating how his male companions held the conviction that I am irrational and overly domineering. My immediate retort was, "To what precisely are you alluding?" And this audacious individual proceeded to chuckle and then divulged that his friends had conducted an actual ballot to determine whether he ought to sever our engagement prior to the impending matrimonial ceremony. A formal vote, if you will. As though I were some sort of public referendum to be debated within the confines of their unremarkable group chat. Apparently, the genesis of this entire predicament was when his associate, Tommy, inquired as to the conspicuous absence of Victoria from our wedding guest list. You are, of course, familiar with Victoria, his former romantic partner from his collegiate years, with whom he maintained a relationship for a substantial 3-year period, and who still frequently appends affectionate heart-eye emojis to every single one of his Instagram posts. Yes, that very Victoria, the self-same individual who unfailingly makes an appearance at every collective social function, despite their romantic separation occurring a full 2 years ago, and who persists in comporting herself as though she remains an integral constituent of their intimate social circle. Initially, James commenced a defense of my position, asserting that it is entirely conventional and indeed expected for fiancés not to extend invitations to their partner's former flames to their nuptial celebrations. However, Tommy then launched into an impassioned declaration about how Victoria is virtually an honorary member of their collective and how my stance was patently unreasonable. And instead of decisively quelling this inappropriate line of argumentation, James apparently merely remained seated, passively observing, while they all commenced a detailed dissection of my perceived personality deficiencies, as though I were some kind of intricate psychological undertaking requiring their collective intervention. By the time they had progressed through 3 distinct microbreweries, they were engaged in a full-fledged debate concerning whether James should definitively call off the matrimonial event due to my alleged excessive jealousy and pervasive insecurity. Tommy even retrieved a digital article on his mobile device pertaining to significant red flags in romantic partnerships and proceeded to vocalize its contents aloud, meticulously pointing out how I supposedly conformed to at least half of the stipulated criteria. The other gentlemen present readily interjected with their supposed sagacious relationship counsel, pontificating on how their respective girlfriends would never behave in such a fashion, and how I desperately needed to cultivate a more relaxed demeanor. And my fiancé, the very man I am slated to pledge my lifelong commitment to in a mere 6 weeks, simply permitted them to speak about me in such an unchivalrous manner. He did not valiantly come to my defense, he did not instruct them to desist from their intrusive commentary, nor did he even make a move to depart the gathering. He remained seated, imbibing fermented beverages and offering silent affirmations through head nods while his companions meticulously dismantled